Thank you for coming to talk to me. I'm excited about this topic, something that you feel really passionate about, which is getting partner support, getting good partner support for breastfeeding success. But first, I'll just mention a little bit about who you are and what you do. You are a lactation consultant, an IBCLC, mostly in the hospital setting, which we can see that you are there right now.
Yeah.
And so working with people who just gave birth and are still in the hospital in recovery, and also in the NICU, right? So helping people either breastfeed or get breast milk to their babies who are in the NICU. So you do a lot to support new families. You've been doing this for 16 years, right?
Yes.
So that's a good long time. We are, I know, very, very
no
lucky.
End in sight.
No end in sight. Still love it. Good. So what is it that you love most about it, about breastfeeding in particular?
So generally the breast milk itself, the substance is very magical. It is an overall thing that can be used for not just nutrition, but also for immunities, stem cell research. You also have cancer patients that can utilize it, as well as burn victims. So the fact that you can use it all the way around is just magic.
It's very cool stuff.
It is. It is.
I've noticed a lot of lactation consultants say that. It's fascinating, like just the science behind it, the chemistry of the milk is amazing. Well, how about working with families? What's your favorite thing about working with the families?
My favorite thing with working with families is how one little thing that isn't going for them, and I give them a little tip or a trick, and it just fixes it. They seem so grateful, even though it's just like the minuscule thing, just like hand placement on the breast. They just are very grateful, and it just gives me the warm and fuzzies.
Yeah. It's amazing how often that's all it takes, right? And most people just don't know. We don't know. We need you to show us, like, oh, if you just try adjusting your positioning a little bit, or try putting the nipple in the baby's mouth like this, and then all of a sudden it's just, I had that experience too. Just one little thing made all the difference. So
like a game changer for the family.
Yeah, that must feel pretty good.
It is.
Okay, what made you want to do this? What made you want to be an LC?
So I started off as a breastfeeding peer counselor through the WIC program, and attended a conference where a woman introduced herself as a lactation consultant, and I realized that, I mean, I already enjoyed what I was doing, and figured, why not? Let's make this the career. So
that sudden realization that this could be your whole career.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot. Great. Okay, so this topic of partner support, generally, like when you say you think that it's really important that people have great support from their partners, what would be the main goal there? Like, why is that so helpful? What have you seen?
So when a partner is supportive and affirmative and basically their cheerleader, moms tend to be more successful. Because they're not ready to throw in the towel because they have that support. So when partners are more educated along with the mom, and they know, okay, this is what I need to do, then it becomes a team effort and not just everything on mom.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
I think you're right on with this topic. It's so important. So then what ways can partners help? What ways can partners be supportive? Like what are your recommendations?
So the biggest is going to be, especially during the first couple of days, paying attention to how we teach mom how to breastfeed, taking notes on what to look for satiety cues, fullness, and diaper output. So that way, when mom is questioning herself, I don't know if he's getting enough milk, dad can relay, no, remember, this is what they said, This is what we're seeing. You're doing great. You're doing a great job. The other thing that they can do is that affirmative feeling toward mom, telling her what a wonderful job she's doing, what a wonderful mom she is, telling her look at how well baby's latching and eating, look at all the diapers we're getting. So just that affirmation really makes a difference. Dad can also, a lot of times partners feel like they're not doing enough with the feedings. So I tell dad or partner, grab baby and latch baby on if you want to, as long as mom allows. That can be a way of you feeding baby, so that way you're still feeling involved. Changing baby's diaper, taking baby's baths, burping baby after mom's done with the feeding, all swaddling, all of those things that the partner can do to kind of help take the load off of mom.
Yeah, getting in some good skin to skin time while she takes a shower.
Yes. And when baby's ready to latch onto the boobie, time to go to mama.
Yeah. You also mentioned when we talked before that they could even help with some issues that sometimes come up, like engorgement. Sometimes there are things we have to do to relieve discomforts like that.
Yeah, so we have a reverse pressure is to help with the engorgement, to help soften the areola so we can get baby latched on or do some pumping. Sometimes moms just can't get it. It's just too much for them. So I do ask the partners, like, if mom can't do it, this is what you're going to do. And they're able to kind of be more hands-on with the breastfeeding.
I think these ideas are really brilliant, especially because there was recently a survey done of women who had just given birth and about their experiences in the hospital. And that included their experiences with lactation support. And a lot of women reported that they didn't remember. They didn't remember if they saw someone or not. They didn't remember what they learned. Because I mean, they just gave birth, right? It's a big deal. Maybe they didn't.
And the door is revolving. There's so many nurses and doctors coming in and out, family. I mean, it's like a big blur in those first couple of days.
Yeah. So I think it's brilliant, that advice, that partners pay close attention when you specifically are in there with them, offering that advice about breastfeeding and explaining, and you do some education. You're not just troubleshooting problems, but you're educating, you're helping them understand what to expect in the next day or 2 or 3 or 4. And so when partners maybe can be a little more attentive, right? They didn't just birth.
They can be present and in the moment.
Right.
That can make a huge difference.
I think that's genius. Take notes, pay attention, and then they may actually be able to solve some problems.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. What else? So what kinds of things can they do, once they're at home and breastfeeding is going okay, to really support this breastfeeding process, especially like at those times when it feels like the baby is on the boob all the time? What ways can they help then?
So partners can definitely pick up on chores and do some more cooking, or even create a food train and a chore chart for those who want to come over and visit. You have to bring food and you have to sign up for a chore. So that way both of them are actually getting the break, because being a partner and having a brand new baby and you're not just supporting your baby, you're also supporting your wife or the mom. So that takes a lot of emotional, energy from the partner. So if we can kind of get the community involved as well, or, your close-knit family and friends, that'll also help. So having that in place will really make a difference as well.
Absolutely. Okay. All good stuff. And then is there anything that you would maybe advise partners not to do? Like anything that might not be helpful or might be extra important not to do with someone who's struggling with breastfeeding or just learning to do it?
Yeah, my biggest is going to be telling them just to give up, just, you're struggling, let's just stop and move over to bottle feeding. I really, really encourage partners to tell the mom to It's okay. It's something new. It's something you're learning, and we're going to get you help. And what can I do to help you right now? And then make sure that they reach out for that support, whether it's another lactation consultant or, reaching out to the hospital to find that help, but just finding help. So that way they can figure out what's going on.
Yeah. I think it can be hard for partners. I mean, they see us struggling sometimes and it looks hard at first,
Right.
and it can be.
And they don't know what to do. They really don't. They really don't know, what am I supposed to do?
Right. And so sometimes it feels like the right thing to say, I'll run to the store and get some formula, right? That seems like it might be easier
Right.
than what you're doing right now,
Right.
because they don't like to see us struggling, and that makes sense. But usually when we have the goal to breastfeed and we're struggling, we don't really want to hear that, right?
Right. We definitely don't want to hear that. We want to hear, you got this. We will get through it. Again, it's all about teamwork. So, letting them know that, you're there to support them, and, we're going to get you that help. We'll figure it out.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for talking to us and sharing your expertise.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.